So here we go. 1 cup of flour to start with. Half a cup of salt. 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. 1, 2. Give that a mix. So the question for you now is, with the flour, the salt and the cream of tartar, is that a mixture or is that a chemical reaction? Are there any signs of a chemical reaction? And now I'll get the wet ingredients. 1 cup of water. Didn't spill too much. A few drops of food colouring in. 1 tablespoon of oil coming up. There's my wet ingredients, and you'll notice that the oil is really sitting on the top. So oil doesn't mix with water very well. One reason is because it's a different density, but also to do with its chemical structure too. Its particles are tightly bonded together and don't mix with other liquids such as water. And the question there with our wet ingredients, is this a chemical reaction? Are there any signs of a chemical reaction happening here? I'll let you decide that. So then it's time to put the 2 ingredients together. We'll just pour that in and give it a stir. And the question we're going to ask ourselves now again is, has a chemical reaction taken place yet? So the next part of the process is to put it into this saucepan, which I'll do now. So I'm going to get a spatula. Cleans things up very nicely out of a bowl. Time to take it now over to the stove. So I've got it over here at the stove now, and I'm just going to put it on a low heat and make sure I've got the wooden spoon there to stir it. We don't want to heat this too much. It can burn, stirring all the time. As soon as you start to feel it stick on the bottom, I would turn the heat down. You can just start to see it's getting some lumpy bits in it there. Okay, so now it's starting to hold together. Turn that entirely off. There's still a bit of heat in the pan. Starts to stick together. We'll take that back over. Now it's going to be quite warm, so you might need to give it a few minutes to cool down. You can take it out of there and start to handle it yourself. It's actually quite nice to play with while it's still warm. So now the question there is, has a chemical reaction occurred here? We've put heat into this reaction. So my little clue is that a chemical reaction can occur by putting heat into it. You'd call that a forced chemical reaction.